What's on your mind, TJ? What's what's on your mind, TJ? I'm gonna back up.
Alright, what's on my mind is well, let me do this again. Hi, people. Y'all remember me? I'm TJ. It was glad to be back on here. How you been, Mr. Goodwin?
Man, Cold Crown is thriving. Still been doing the videos, trying to make it happen. So I always appreciate you on here.
Alright, what's on my mind lately have been, sad to say, our school district. Not even our school district, our schools, period. Why are they so backward? Why are they so backwards?
Mm-hmm.
And I can never understand. You never have to find an explanation. So many people want to. Damn it, I can't do it. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, as intelligent as you are, you realize there's a roadblock.
Yeah.
And there's like progress is being stymied for you. And as you witness other students who seem to just be like washed away almost like seashells out into the California Ocean or out there in the waters, you feel sad by that. So there's a system or things that you realize is blocking kids from progressing. And so you have an issue with that.
But they gotta, and it's I really do, and I realize this. They want to make fun of so many people that is always thinking differently or always, I don't consider, no longer looking through the looking glass. And they wonder why so many people just wants to get out their situation, but they don't want to put no forth to the effort. But you got the right to complain about it, though?
Do you think some of them may not have any idea how to do such a thing because you are enlightened and you're an intelligent young man? And I guess we can back the question up, and I'm changing the subject almost, but when do you think you became enlightened?
Damn. Just my whole life. That got me really thinking my whole life, because when I was younger, I was thinking things very differently from all my other friends. When I was 6 years old, I used to be cutting open my bed, and I would always stitch it back together. And no one would know my bed had a hole in it, because I know how to stitch so well. I can stitch like a doctor or a nurse.
Okay.
And that's crazy. That was me at 6 years old. I am 16 now. I know how to do way more than that, and it gets me thinking.
Wow.
My grandfather had taught me this. He taught me responsibility. He taught me respect. He taught me everything growing up. But my generation now is the future, and it's horrible. Even as someone that is young as me has to think, why is my generation like this? So backwards and naive. What you feel about my generation, Mr. Goodwin?
I think, again, everybody starts off at a point where I think it's two educations, and we talked about this off air a few minutes ago. There's an education that everybody gives you, and then there's the one you have on your own. Unfortunately, sometimes for most people, in order to learn their own, it takes time. You know, but some people are spoon-fed what they want to be, or I mean, what they're going to be told, I guess. They're going to be spoon-fed. So if somebody is
trying... So they still rather be children to learn their true responsibility.
Well, they don't even know about the other world, in the other world.
Oh, goodness. Even the ones that is older than me still don't know about the world.
Yeah, what they call them, the lost tribes. Like, it's a lost like group. You know, what we're not going to say, we're going to talk about how some people will literally argue with you, and we witness this together, if you try to create an environment that is fulfilled with enlightenment. They'll argue because some people want to stay in what we're going to call the darkness.
It is not the darkness. It's in the light.
In the light.
It is. It's very inside the light.
Inside the light.
And I just realized this. There are the ones that's considered, I'm going to say this until everyone will listen to me. We are the blind man walking. A blind, and that's crazy. A blind man walking, we are the blind. So what you just try to consider? A blind man is truly the ones that is looking because he hears everything. And just to hear everything and to realize, know what the world is, how it truly is.
The senses is heightened. Yeah. He has.
We don't even know about that. There is so many things in this world that we don't even know about. You know, the media chooses what stories that they want to give out.
Mm.
And that's crazy.
But my question to you right now is, do we want to know everything?
We have to. It doesn't matter if you don't want to know it. You have to know this because there are so many things that will scare you that you don't even think about. And it's the number one thing, pollution.
Pollution.
That's a very big thing. And no one don't even know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I heard of pollution. Explain what it is. They can't.
So you think, like, definitely pollution, it leads to death.
It does.
So now we're talking about a whole city, even the country environment. Everybody is
Lack of awareness.
Exposed to pollution.
Yeah, and it was weird about it. Some of us don't even know about that. And as lack of awareness, we need to be aware because there's so many people that's doing things that we don't even know about. We don't. And that's crazy. Like, who really wants to know about this? Who wants to really think, like, I want to see what the world truly is. But you say, oh, I don't want to grow up. That's pretty much what it is about. And that's very confusing.
Yeah, because growing up means you become responsible.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to be held accountable. So I know some young students that want to get their own apartment. I want to get my own apartment. I want to have my own job, my own car.
Mm-hmm.
They have to know that those things cost. They got to know that, right? Or do they believe that
it comes free?
It's free.
And it doesn't.
It doesn't. So it's like, I want to be grown. I get that speech. I understand it. But do you really know what it takes to be grown? And so somebody that's grown a lot of times don't have time to play around.
They don't.
Okay. So.
And I just know this, and it's some of us are considered very more mature than others. Then once they say, okay, I'm grown, they got the perspective of actually being grown. But when someone is just, I'm gonna say the average Joe. The average Joe that's wildy, act like a kid. When they say that, they look at them as like they're a joke. And they get all offended about that. And once you try to explain it to them, then it turns into, what do you think, Mr. Gilway?
An argument or a fight. It's very possible somebody could get stabbed, shot, or killed.
And that's horrible.
Because fighting is the initial solution to. I'm frustrated about my life because of my home life. I'm frustrated about school. Want me to do this dumb work. You know what I mean? None of this stuff makes any sense. And that girl keeps looking at me. You know? I don't know why she keeps looking at me. I got a problem with the fact that she keeps looking at me. So what do? I lash out and I make sure that I let everybody in the whole school know, or whatever in the whole world know, that I'm upset.
That has no meaning though. If you're upset, you should handle and deal with that your own. It doesn't matter, you gotta do something to relax yourself. Cause being black, that's off rap. You're black, you're mad. I'm a male. That's a done deal. That's a wrap. We all seen what happens. We all been watching the news lately. So many black people got kidnapped. So many black people.
Abduction.
Thank you. They get all of this bad consequence because of one thing. But if a white person gets upset and he wants to destroy property, he gets a slap on the wrist. What is that supposed to? That doesn't confuse me, but why is it like that? Is it because of lack of awareness, or is it just because we're not ready?
Whoa. See, whoa. We're not ready. We're not ready. Because here's the thing. I mean, I'll let you go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just agreeing with you.
No, again, there's an enlightenment where the light bulb or whatever maybe is elevated and it's not, because we're all geniuses to me, but the light is not on. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you need to twist it for it to get connected to the base, which is the brain. So once you twist that, and then that thing pops on, the vision, the view. And sometimes it happens to people when they're young, just like you got that. You've had it for a long time. Now my question becomes to you as a chess player in life, what is going to be your next move?
Do what I have to do by what comes forth for me and my future family.
Yes, because you're the leader, in my opinion, of one of these, what is it just called, millennials?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're 16 years old and you're a genius. I said it, and I confirm it, and I agree. You are an absolute genius. And you're 16 years old, and you've been one, I know for sure, at 14 or 15, for as long as I've known you.
Yeah, I would say I was the early bird that got the learn.
So sometimes people say, oh man, kids don't know anything. That's not true. I'm around an environment where these kids are smart. I'm telling you, so I don't know where these labels come from. These kids are smart. I'm telling you. But there's some confusion sometimes because we end up getting lost in trying to figure out which way to go. Sometimes
it's like a maze while I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Some of us could get through the maze, or some of us always get scared, or they just don't want to go through it, or they get lost.
Scared. Let's talk about that for 2 seconds before we almost have to close up shop. Fear is the biggest obstacle of man.
It is.
Afraid. I'm afraid. Because he has the ability to jump and leap, but he's afraid to do it because he understands the consequences. I can break my leg, I could bust my neck or whatever. Mm-hmm. I can split myself to the white meat and just leak out. You know what I'm saying?
That just gave me, that's cringy.
But the point I'm trying to say is fear. It's fear. So there's all of these environments that are full of people that are afraid. Now this doesn't have a color on what I'm saying.
So why be afraid if you know what this could happen? Just go forth with it, because the majority of the things that you think about, you think is going to happen, 9 times out of 10 it's not going to happen. Those are just what if situations.
Yeah, so don't be afraid of the way that it
But that
feels.
means don't just go off, jump off a mountain without no parachute. You're just a done deal if you do that.
Well, at least you got a result. I mean, you did something different. You no longer are a part of apartheid, or you're not a part of any type of hang-ups anymore. You don't have to watch the news, the media. You have done what I've called a parachute-less mission.
9 times out of 10, I might fall to my death.
Now, let me say before we get off, I'm not promoting suicide.
Please, no.
I'm not.
Don't do this.
I'm not promoting homicide. I'm not promoting suicide. That was just a joke that I made, a little joke from my profession. But it's a joke that I made. And so TJ knows me. I'm a character. I'm a grown man, but I got jokes. And I got a lot of comedy stuff that I'm doing. I'm playing with real concepts. And TJ is my sidekick. And I love this young man all the way to the end, and I'll always be supportive of him. If he ever needs anything from me, all he has to do is reach out, and if I can provide it for him, I'm going to do it. But you know,
and it's another thing I got to do. Please, people, read more books. That's another thing I has to address the next video. And it's gonna call it read more books, and I have to explain why.
We're gonna get back to that one though. Read more books. We're gonna definitely go into that. So this is, you know, TJ telling what's on your mind, a little series right here. So y'all got a chance to hear some things that he said. We're gonna save some of it because this man is a genius, and this stuff don't come free. So sooner or later we're gonna have y'all pay to come and see him speak as a motivational speaker. So everybody get a chance to get y'all money together.
That
Save
would be
y'all
a great video. All right,
save y'all
next
change.
time.
All right, Cold Crown. Happy holidays.